To help bridge the gap between generations, inspire meaningful conversations, and help you get to know your grandkids better, in this part 3 video, I will share 10 of our best questions to ask older grandkids aged 10 and above. Part 1 is for grandkids under age 5, and part 2 includes questions for 5 to 10-year-olds. Stay tuned till the end because you never know which will resonate the most with you and your grandkids. In case you're new, I'm Cyn Meyer, the founder of Second Wind Movement and a life coach for older adults who are striving to turn their retirement years into their best years full of purpose and meaning. And relationships, and most often your familial relationships, are of course at the heart of that. For grandparents who have older grandkids, here are 10 best questions to ask your grandkids over 10. May they be thought-provoking and spur some great conversation momentum for you. Number 1, what are the most important values or lessons that you've learned so far in life? It might surprise you, but asking a child about the most important values in life can yield some pretty profound and genuine answers. The experiences and challenges that they've faced can reveal a lot about who they are and how they view the world around them. And this heart-to-heart talk can be a gentle reminder for your grandchild to uphold and cherish these core values that eventually shape them into their own unique and ideally well-rounded and compassionate individuals. Plus, it's always a great opportunity to connect with your grandkid on a deeper level and learn more about what makes them tick. This is also a great way to set the tone for a future dynamic that's open for deeper topics as they move through life's phases. Number 2, what's something you wish you could go back and change in your life? We've all had our fair share of bad decisions or regrets, and it happens at any age. And learning from them is the vital part. So encourage your grandkids to reflect on their tough experiences and think about the lessons that they've gained and learned along the way. If they end up talking about a mistake that they've made, that's a good thing. Learning about their past decisions and how they would handle them differently can provide fascinating insight into their unique views on life and important learnings. It can be even more engaging if you share your do-overs and how they changed you. Number 3, what advice would you give your younger self? As the saying goes, with age comes wisdom. And that doesn't necessarily have to mean, quote, old age. Asking your grandkids this question could open up an interesting conversation about their personal growth and what they value at their core. Take it a step further and share what advice you would give your younger self. Note that this is a different question than what would you do differently. It's less about having regret and more about learning lessons and gold that you would leverage to make things that much better. It's a great hint into what can inform a great, fulfilling, and satisfying future too. Number 4, what would you tell the world if you had a platform to reach everyone? Allowing your grandchildren to express themselves and be heard can lead to some truly inspiring and impactful ideas. They have a fresh perspective, a new take on what's important, and if they feel safe enough to be seen and heard, then they're not afraid to speak up about it. It's also a positive way to get your grandkids thinking about social justice, morality, and their passions and purpose. It's also a great chance to open up discussions about the power of standing up for what's important. Number 5, what's one thing that you wish adults understood about being a teenager? This one's for grandkids who are teens. Let's face it, the teenage years are tough pretty much for everyone involved. But sometimes as adults, it's easy to forget what it's like to be in that complicated stage of life when you're feeling all the big feelings that come with such a big transition. By asking your grandkids this question head on, you could gain some valuable insight into their world and deepen your well of empathy and perspective, something that'll allow you to be so much more supportive moving forward. Number 6, if you had one day with no responsibilities or obligations, how would you spend your time? It's always refreshing to think about the potential of what could be accomplished in 24 hours without any interference. Ask your grandkid this question and it will not only help you get to know them better and spark interesting conversations and ideas, but it may also give you some insight into where their stressors are. There can be so much pressure for kids and teenagers to perform and achieve and do for external factors, that dreaming about a day with none of that can be very relieving. The way that they share their thoughts and feelings on this stress-free mode can be pretty telling about their current stress and anxiety level and the state of their mental health, which is, of course, huge. Along the same vein, you can take it a step further and ask, what would you do if you had an extra hour in the day? To find out what's at the top of their priority list. Number 7, if you could switch lives with anyone for a day, who would it be and why? Imagine having the chance to walk in someone else's shoes for a day. Who would you choose? If you ask your grandkid, their answer may surprise you. Maybe they'd want to switch lives with a superhero like Spider-Man, or maybe they prefer to see what it's like being a world-renowned chef. Either way, it'll give some good insight into what intrinsically motivates them. Number 8, what's something you've always wanted to learn but you haven't had the chance to yet? Ask your grandkids and you might be surprised to find out what they want to learn. At this age, your grandkids are still so full of curiosity and they have enthusiasm for learning something that they're naturally drawn to. So much so that it's contagious. For the record, this is an important question to ask yourself at any age and especially in retirement. Lifelong learning is a must to keep going and growing. It's never too late to try new things and broaden your horizons, and involving your grandkids in the process can create a very positive impact that will last a legacy beyond a lifetime. Number 9, what's the coolest thing you've ever made or created? This is a great question to ask throughout the years, as the answers should mature alongside your grandchild. They might surprise you with something that you never expected, whether it's a drawing, a new skill or talent, a fort they built, or even a recipe that they invented in the kitchen. Anything goes. The point is to tap into their sense of pride and self-confidence. It also gives you a glimpse into their creativity and even inspire them to continue exploring their innate interests more deeply. With 75% of people not living up to their creative potential, it's worth the friendly nudge to dive deeper. Number 10, what do you want to be remembered for when you're gone? At this age, your grandkids know the experience of putting in effort and doing hard things. They know what hard work and discipline feels like. So questions like this help older grandkids reflect on where they want to steer that effort. It's a question of legacy and impact, which can, of course, give their career paths more meaning and depth. Consider it as an opportunity to exchange values and find more purpose and meaning. Encourage them to express how they would make the world a better place. And it's an excellent opportunity for you to share your own experiences and beliefs, where you can share your own legacy wishes, while also encouraging your grandkids to create a world that's better for future generations. Our bonus tip today is to turn the tables. After asking these questions, let your grandchildren ask you questions. Not only does it put your grandkid in the driver's seat, but it also encourages them to think about values that are important to them. To recap our 10 best questions to ask your grandkids over age 10, number 1, what are the most important values or lessons you've learned so far in life? Number 2, what's something you wish you could go back and change in your life? Number 3, what advice would you give your younger self? Number 4, what would you tell the world if you had a platform to reach everyone? Number 5, what's one thing you wish adults understood about being a teenager? 6, if you had one day with no responsibilities or obligations, how would you spend your time? Number 7, if you could switch lives with anyone for a day, who would it be and why? 8, what's something you've always wanted to learn but haven't had the chance to yet? Number 9, what's the coolest thing you've ever made or created? And number 10, what do you want to be remembered for when you're gone? And these questions are just the beginning. With a little bit of creativity, you can come up with so many more fun questions, activities, and dreams to share with your grandkids. Thank you so much for being here and striving to be your best during retirement. We need more people like you to help shift our culture to be better. Please like, share, and subscribe, and comment on this video. Every engagement that you make with our videos helps us do our job better of creating helpful content for this very important audience of older adults. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video.